view show grid, and also make sure that view and snap to grid is on. For now, I don't need smart guides. I want to work with the pen tool. What's the logic behind working with the pen tool? And why do I need the grid? If I didn't have the grid, or at least I didn't have snap to grid on, and I used my pen tool to create, for example, a square, it wouldn't really be a square, because I did not really snap to these points. So if I go down here, Control Y for the outline, it's not snapped exactly there. Neither is that point. So without using snap, you can't get precise drawings. You cannot get precise drawings. So if I choose view and snap to grid, when I use the pen or anything else, any other tool, my drawings will be very precise. So the pen tool would let you draw lines, and when you place the cursor of the last point on the first one, you get to close the line, which is a good thing. So here, that's the stroke. I can change its color from here, and that's the fill, which I can also change from there. Now we have options for the stroke. For example, if I wanted to create a dashed line for the stroke, I check dashed line, and here I have 12 points. If I wanted to reduce the distance, for example 3, I would have 3 points, and so forth. If I set it to 1, it would be like this. Can you edit this? Of course. Whatever you create, whatever is a vector, you can edit it with the direct selection tool, which is found here. So you select a point and you move it, and while you are still using snap, it will actually snap in place. So for example, I can grab both these and put them over here. What if I wanted to add a bulge down here or a bulge up there? Let's see how we can do this. I'm going to press Ctrl Y just to see the lines without any colors. And I'll click back on my pen tool, and I want to add a point here. If I click on the plus, I'll be adding points like this. So Ctrl Y will show you that these points were added at the grid lines because I used snap to grid, and that's a good thing. So if I selected the point, I can move it up, but that's not really what I want to do. I want to create a curve here. Points have something that we call handles. To get these handles, I need to go to the Convert Anchor Point tool. Click and drag, and you see now that you have handles. So I will grab Ctrl Y again. I'll grab this handle and move it up to create the curve, but I see that the other handle moved down at the same time. To actually break the two handles, I will press Alt and move one of the handles. The other handle will not be affected. So I'll do the same for the other one. I'll make it a curve by dragging with the Convert Point tool. If I moved one handle, the other one will be affected. I'll press Alt and click on the handle, and now the handle is independent from the other one. And therefore I get this. Ctrl Y to see the result. So you see that you can actually change. Let's take the stroke, set the stroke without a dashed line. Of course, I could have done what we have learned before with the Pathfinder. I can create an ellipse, for example, here. Alright, and select both and go back to Pathfinder, and this time choose Add, and it will be added. So, as an exercise, I'm gonna create a shape with the pen tool. So that's my pen tool. I have snap on, view, snap to grid, and show grid is on. I will start here, click, 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 and keep going like this, and then finish there. That's what I have now. I'm gonna go to my direct selection tool and select these 2 points. I want to move them in. So by selecting them and going to the scale tool, you can actually scale them in like this. So if I had 2 points or more, let's say I had these points, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I used the scale tool from here, that's the center. I click and drag, and the points will be scaled together. That's not what I want to do, but that's how you can bring points closer together. Alright, anyway, what I want to do now is create curves out of these points. So I'm gonna go to my convert point tool, click and drag, and from the other side I'll click and drag to the same extent, and from here also click and drag. Alright, I'll grab this point and move it down, and do the same to the other one. I'm always working symmetrically. I'll select these points and drag them down. Now here I will scale to make the curve bigger, and from this side also I will scale. Remember that I'm recording this. At home you're not gonna see that. Alright, so that's the shape that I got, starting from corner points and then converted to curved points.